let's do this radical problem. Here we have root of 7 minus x equals x minus 1. The roots of this equation are real numbers, therefore the value of the expression under the radical sign must be greater than or equal to 0. The first step you need to do while solving these kind of problems is to find the domain. A domain is the set of values of all possible input values of x for which the function is defined and produces a valid output. So here, let's write out the domain. X has to be less than or equal to 7. Because if x is greater than 7, let's say x is equal to 8, root of 7 minus 8 is not going to be a real number. Therefore, x has to be less than or equal to 7. Next step is to actually solve this equation. Now we're going to write it as is. So root of 7 minus x is equal to x minus 1. In order to remove the radical sign, you're going to have to square both sides. So square both sides. When you square both sides, the radical disappears. So this becomes 7 minus x equals x squared minus 2x plus 1. Because a plus b whole square is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So using that, you can derive this. Next thing you need to do is to put all the variables on one side and all the constants on the other side. So x squared minus, if I put x over here, it's going to be minus x, and then 1 over here, it's going to be 6. Now we're going to place everything on the other side. So this is going to be 0 is equal to x squared minus x minus 6. This is the root x minus 3 times x plus 2. So x can be either 3 or x can be minus 2. Before we submit our answers, we need to find whether this satisfies the domain. Here we have our domain. X is less than or equal to 7. Here we have x equals 3 or x equals minus 2. 3 is less than or equal to 7. That satisfies. X equals minus 2 is also less than or equal to 7. So that also satisfies our rule. But before we submit our answers, once again, we're going to have to actually check in if this satisfies, if these values satisfy this original equation. So I'm going to write it here. Root of 7 minus 3 is equal to 3 minus 1. I'm just plugging in x equals 3. Let's see if this works. So root of 7 minus 3 is 4, root of 4 is 2, 2 is equal to 3 minus 1, which is 2, so this works. So 3 works. We have no problem with that. Next, we're going to have to check minus 2. Let's see if minus 2 works. So I'm going to write it here. Root of 7 minus of minus 2, which is plus 2, is equal to minus 2 minus 1. So this would be root of 7 plus 2, which is root of 9, which is 3, is equal to minus 2 minus 1, which is minus 3, and they are not equal. So this won't work. It passes through the main rule, but it does not pass the original equation.